Welcome back my YouTube channel Old Car Stories, where we bring history back to life through the wheels that once ruled the roads. Today we're diving into a true icon of automotive history, this car, 1925 Ford Model T. A car that didn't just change transportation, but reshaped the entire world. The Ford Model T, often lovingly called the Tin Lizzie, was the car that brought America onto wheels. Though it first hit the roads in 1908, the 1925 model marks a significant point in its production journey. By then, the car had matured into a dependable, affordable, and revolutionary machine that could be seen in towns and cities across the United States. The 1925 Model T came near the end of the car's legendary run. It was available in several body styles, including the two-door roadster, coupe, and the touring car, which was especially popular among families. The simple, clean design made it easy to maintain and repair, which added to its charm. Under the hood, the Model T was powered by a 2.9-liter four-cylinder engine. It produced just about 20 horsepower, but that was more than enough for the time. With a top speed of around 40 to 45 miles per hour, it was a solid performer for both city and rural travel. What made the Model T truly revolutionary was not just its engine or looks, but how it was made. Henry Ford's introduction of the moving assembly line transformed production forever. By 1925, the factory lines were so efficient that a new Model T could roll off the line every 10 seconds. This efficiency meant the car became even more affordable. In 1925, you could buy a brand new Model T for as little as $260, a price that made car ownership possible for middle-class Americans for the first time. That affordability helped the Model T become one of the most successful cars in history. Inside the 1925 Model T, the cabin was simple but functional. The seats were typically trimmed in leatherette, and the dashboard featured only the essentials. There were no frills, no luxury finishes, just practicality and durability, which suited its wide audience perfectly. The controls of the Model T were quite different from modern cars. It used 3 pedals and a hand lever to operate the transmission. This setup took some getting used to, but once mastered, it was surprisingly effective and reliable. By 1925, Ford had already produced over 15 million Model Ts. It was a global car by then, with units exported and even assembled in countries around the world. Yet it remained most iconic in its homeland, where it symbolized American progress and ingenuity. Owners loved the Model T for its toughness. It could handle poor roads, deep mud, and rough weather conditions. Farmers, in particular, saw it as a valuable tool, often modifying it for plowing or hauling loads when needed. Customization was a big part of the Model T's appeal. Many owners and small shops created homemade body styles or converted the car into pickups, buses, or even tractors. It was a blank canvas for innovation and creativity during a time when necessity often drove invention. The 1925 edition came in black, a tradition Ford kept for years due to fast-drying paint. "Any color as long as it's black" became a famous phrase, though by this time, other colors had slowly started returning to the lineup in limited numbers. Driving a Model T was a unique experience. The engine had to be cranked manually unless it came with an electric starter, which was optional in earlier years, but more common by 1925. Once started, the engine gave a steady hum that echoed the sounds of a changing world. Many people from that era remember their first Model T ride as a rite of passage. It was often the first car they ever saw or sat in. For some families, it marked the beginning of weekend drives, longer distance travel, or even the start of a small delivery business. The Ford's vision was to create a car for the masses, and the Model T achieved just that. It wasn't just a mode of transport. It became a symbol of freedom, opportunity, and the American dream. The 1925 model captured all those ideals in steel, rubber, and oil. Though production of the Model T would end just 2 years later in 1927, its impact is everlasting. Car historians and collectors still seek out the 1925 version for its charm and historical importance. It holds a proud place in museums, private collections, and parades. Today, Restoring and driving a 1925 Model T is like stepping into a time machine. Every sound, every turn of the wheel tells a story of where we've been and how far we've come. It reminds us that even the simplest machines can leave the deepest marks on history. Thanks for joining us on this ride through time. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Old Car Stories. We'll keep bringing you the classics that helped shape the road ahead. Until next time, keep the wheels turning and the stories alive.